Because by me calling you a you were not going to hear anything I just said. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Brittany Collins, aka Naturally Pretty. I am here with another video. If you are new here, hi, how are you? My name is Brittany. If you're a current subscriber, then hey friend, you already know what it is. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about what I learned in my 20s. As you guys know, I turned 30 in February of 2022. When you hear these things, you'll understand that it was fundamental for you to go through those things in your 20s to figure out exactly what you want your life to be, to look like. It was a real critical time. So let's go ahead and hop into what happened during this decade, child. And we're gonna try and speed through this pretty quickly. I don't want the video to be too long. First thing is, your 20s are so young. I truly didn't realize how young 20 was. I am someone who had kids really young. And I look back and I'm just like, wow, you was really raising kids, girl. Take your time, start over as many times as you need to. I really, truly didn't realize how young that was until I was out of it. Like, girl, what were you doing? And I'd be like, girl, I don't know. Do not pressure yourself to feel like you have to have everything right then and there put together. Oh, I'm 21, I'm 22, I gotta have it together. You don't. You don't, and most likely you won't. Don't be afraid to fail. Times that failure can seem real permanent at that time. I remember a time where it's like, I'm never gonna get up from this. But then you realize you do. Every day that you wake up is an opportunity to do better than you did yesterday. As long as you learn from those lessons, you're going to make it out on the other side and everything's going to be all right. Take that leap of faith then, because you're still young and you have time. If it doesn't work, scratch it out and go to the next, like try it again, try it a different way. How to eat alone and be your biggest supporter. Not everybody will be for you. There will be people that sit at your table and eat off your plate, but will not offer you a crumb when you need it. Hello? Oh, Jesus just ended the chat for a second. Not everybody is going to support and be happy for you. A lot of people are going to be envious of you. You're someone who's really supportive. You're not going to always get that same support back. Ultimately, you have to support yourself. You can't feed everybody. I know a lot of times people say your friends close and your enemies closer. No. I keep my friends close and my enemies far, far away. You're not a friend. You're not a friend. You're not a friend of me. You're not none of that. Goodbye. But that's something that I had to learn, just having interactions with people that some people just didn't stick. Everyone is not going to be as happy for you as you are for them. A lot of times when you are going through your growth and you're making strides, if you get a $30,000, $40,000 job, $60,000, $80,000 job, that person who may not be in that same space will not be as happy for you. Should they be? Yes. If they are a true friend, they should be. But will they be? No. I think just kind of having that lesson of really seeing it, because you think, oh no, that's my dog, it'll never flip. It will be the closest people to you. It could be friends, it could be family, it could be anybody. And you would really be like caught off guard, like, dang, that's how you feel? Like, that's crazy, you know? The thing is, you want friendships that pour into you and vice versa. You don't want people who just use you or call you when it's convenient or want to hang out when it's convenient. They just want to take from you, no matter what it is, your energy, your knowledge, your time, your money, whatever it may be. You don't want people who are going to take from you. Would you mess with a man who doesn't contribute anything, who doesn't work, who doesn't cook, who doesn't clean, who don't do nothing, but sit around the house all day? No. You would be like, excuse me, sir, you gotta go. It doesn't have to be in the same way. Someone can just need your ear, but you might need someone's time, someone's physical help. People that I have in my life, we're kind of somewhat on the same page with the same values. I've had the same friends for a long time, and they give me inspiration in different ways constantly. It's not like they're just a dead weight that's just there. There just needs to be some type of substance. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I add value to the friendship and to people's lives. So I would assume that the person that I want in my corner, I would assume the person you want in your corner, you want them to do the same thing. And fitness is therapy. OMG. When I tell you, COVID really showed me that it is a form of therapy. I don't need a therapist. I need a squat rack. I need a bench and a cable cord. The gym shut down and I thought I was going to lose my mind. I just felt like I was gonna explode. So it's just like my mind mutes and I'm focused on that one thing, and that's me, my body, and just releasing all the stress of what I've gone through today. I promise you, it will clear your mind and your body be banging. Who don't want to clear a mind and a banging body? I do. I'll sign up for that. How to effectively communicate and listen. Now, I am somebody who will, I cuss you. I'm not going to hold back. I'm not going to lie. I will cuss you. However, I've learned in my 20s that it's not always about that. That does not always win. A lot of times, people are going through life just like you. I know a lot of times people like to play the main character. Romanticize your life. Be the main character. That's fine. But let's be real. Other people are being the main character in their own lives too. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to understand sometimes where other people are coming from. Because by me calling you a you are not going to hear anything I just said. Me personally, I don't like drama. I don't want to deal with all that. If you bring it to my front door, then I handle it. But at the end of the day, like ain't nobody got time for that. Not everything requires a response. Sometimes, a lot of times, just ignore it. Not like a lot of people who are not healed have their own issues, again, because they're going through their own life, right? So you got to be understanding of that, because you don't know, especially if you're not listening, communicating with them. And so you can't be quick to judge people. People who try and get a rise out of you and try and get a reaction out of you, they are reaching. Don't let them reach you because you're bigger than that. Almost like a Michelle Obama when they go lie, when they go lie. Look, even when they lie, go high. Next thing is I learned how to say no, and that it's okay to say no. And that the answer no is enough. That is a statement, a full statement. That's a beginning, middle, and an end. Okay? No. 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 Nah. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. And a lot of times I didn't want to offend people by saying no, so I would say yes. Even now I have to catch myself. My girlfriend Jessica, she be getting me all the time. She be like, I say you gonna think about it. I'd be like, you right. Because I'll say yes and then turn around and want to say no 2 days later. I'm like, why did I say yes to this? What I learned is what I really want in a relationship and what I don't want in a relationship. Date the scene. Like, y'all go to the dating scene. I don't know what the pool like nowadays. What I be seeing on TikTok, it don't look that great. Good luck to y'all. But if you're dating in your 20s, date. I don't mean let him come to your house and Netflix and chill. That's not what I mean, sis. I've been fooled once or twice, okay? Don't do that. Go on a date. Get to really experience people. You know what I mean? And you ain't gotta date everybody. Have some friends. You know what I mean? But really get to know what you like, even just physically. I learned what I just wanted, like physically, what I want in a man. Like, okay, how do I want him to act? Not today, tomorrow. I'm talking lifetime. What are the characteristics of this person that I truly want? I really had to sit with myself and be like, girl, what do you want? What do you want? I manifested my husband and I manifested my mother-in-law. Know what you want and you ask God for it and he shall give it to you. Whoever your God may be, you ask for it, pray for it, write it down, whatever your version of that is. Knowing what you want is key, and it took trial and error in my 20s to really figure that out. Now, I did meet my husband in my 20s. A lot of my life was like on speed track, like it was really fast, aka I had kids when I was like 18, 19. I guess the old school way I grew up is the way I just like my life. I don't know, I just like it. I want to travel, I want to be a hot girl and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, I could be a hot girl and come home to my man. So, but for y'all, yeah, that's not you. Date. Figure out who you want, because at the end of the day, you want to be happy. You don't want to be temporarily happy. You want to know that when you do settle down, when you do have kids, that it's with somebody that you really want. So I would not recommend having kids when you're, young 20s or teenage years, unless you know that this is what I want. This is what I want physically. This is what I want my man to support me. So y'all ain't got to have all these conversations about, who doing 50-50 or you paying for everything. You're not figuring that out down the line after you done already caught feelings. Fellas, you too. Y'all ain't left out. Don't settle, okay? If you don't want to pay all her bills, don't date the chick that want all her bills paid. Next thing is your health. Oh my gosh, y'all. I literally just got a primary care doctor. I want to say, was it 2020? Might have been 2020. I don't know. Not too long ago. Like one that I go to all the time. Like I always went to the OBGYN just because I have kids. Like it's just kind of routine for me to go every year. Always do the dentist every 6 months. But for some reason in my mind, it was you only go to the doctors when something's wrong. And then most of the time when you go, they just want your copay anyways because they send you home. They don't really help you out. So it's kind of like you think of it as being like a waste of time and a waste of money. Please go, because you can prevent something. Now, luckily, when I went through my experience, I ended up being okay. Everything was perfectly fine. But that's not always the case. And sometimes people get diagnosed with things that they can't change by the time they find out. It was a wake-up call for me. I was like, oh yeah, okay. I'll be back next year, don't worry. Same time, same place, great. Facing your flaws can be therapeutic. I feel so free today because I was able to really be honest with myself. Times when you hear it, you realize like it really kicks in. It's not going in one ear and out the other. When you hear yourself saying that and you're talking through things out loud, and come to Jesus moment, like you be like, wow, that's probably because oh, that's crazy. Wow, I really need to do better at that. To me, it made me a better woman. It made me a better mother. It made me a better employee because I'm able to really say like, okay, is this a me thing? Okay, no, this is not a me thing. Here's why, blah, blah, blah. I'm able to articulate myself properly to, have that open dialogue of whatever the situation may be. And I feel confident in that because I know my part. I know myself. So I hope the framing didn't change at all. My phone was dying. How important your credit is and your understanding of what credit is. I went into like this super overload obsession phase when it came to learning about credit, but it was well worth it. You just don't realize how important it is and what it can get you in life. And so just understanding how to read your credit card statements, when to pay stuff, when not to pay stuff, paying toward the principal, saving on interest, things like that, and just really understanding how to get your credit up. My credit was low. It was low. It was not like threes or nothing like that, but it was low, and I was able to get it up a good 300 points. So I know a little something about it. I realize that someone can have the same thing as you and be paying less. I could not wrap my mind around it until I physically was able to do it. The next thing I learned is that boundaries are a necessity, and boundaries do not equate to beef. You cannot be friends with someone, not like someone, have an ex, and they do not have to be your enemy. Y'all just didn't work out. Well, for whatever reason, right? You went left, they went right. Whatever the case may be. And that boundary of not allowing someone into your space, that boundary of you just simply saying no, that does not equate to beef. It does not equate to drama. Does not mean that you hate their guts and every time it's on site. That is not what that means. A boundary is just me saying, hey, this is not okay for me at this time with you. Period, point blank. This is something I would like to keep to myself. Something that you put in place to protect yourself and something that you find necessary to be you, to be free, to have peace. It does not mean that you don't like that person and that there's drama every time you see each other. How important a skin routine is. Thankfully, I'm one of God's chosen ones. So I don't have that many issues when it comes to acne and stuff like that. Thank you, Lord. I did realize that it can get there. I suffer from a lot of blackheads, and I just wanted an even skin tone. And when you're, you young, you fresh, you 16, 18, whatever. You're like, oh, what, I don't need that SPF. Like, girl, you see the skin? Like, we good. Everything's fine. Then you start playing around with makeup and you realize, oh, I got a pimple here. Ew. Or like, you know, during that time of the month, you start breaking down. You're like, girl, ew, what is this? What am I supposed to do? I started to really get into like wearing your SPF, having some type of skin routine. Now mine is mad basic, but like I own a toner and it's like, girl, you got a toner, you got SPF in your moisturizer. I'm like, girl, you grown, girl. So just make sure if you don't have a skin routine, get it now, because when you older, you want to make sure your skin is looking good. You know, your face is the first thing people see. If you don't care about that, then this don't apply to you. Dump it. But if you do, girl, save yourself some wrinkles and get a skin routine. Self-care is a requirement, not an option. Me personally, as a mother, especially a young mother, I always found myself putting myself last. Even when it came to like my relationships, I always came last. I had to make sure everybody else was good, but for myself. And I learned that I'm doing a disservice to everybody that's around me. I'm doing a disservice to myself, because self-care, however that may be for you, if you like to go shop, that's your thing. If you want to like to go to the spa, that's your thing. Whatever you do for self-care is important. If it feeds your soul and it makes you happy and it helps you become a better person at the end of the day by doing whatever this thing is, it is then a requirement. It's no longer an option. The next thing that I learned is I almost got choked up just reading it. Death is a hard thing to swallow. I want to say it gets easier because I think it does. I mean, I'm still here, but there are times that it's very hard, and sometimes it can get you in a dark place. It's not something that you can ever get back. And it's a really hard pill to swallow, guys. And, you know, just stay prayed up. At the end of the day, you'll get through it, but it still sucks. I'm still trying to swallow that pill. Being in a relationship should not require you to lose yourself. If you are in a relationship and you feel like, dang, I don't have any friends now, I don't go anywhere, you're just all about that relationship, and that person is offended because you want to eat better, you want to work out, you want to change something about yourself for the better, sometimes you don't realize you're in a situation until it's too late, and that's fine. Again, that's what this time is for. And honestly, you're going to continue to learn lessons in your life outside of your 20s. A lot of times people will come with the same mess, just in different forms. Sometimes the snakes get better, they get quicker, they get quieter. You realize you are unable to be yourself, you're unable to grow, you're unable to speak your mind, you're unable to have friends and go freely. Things like that. Not somebody saying you're in a toxic relationship. You are losing yourself and you don't have anything outside of that relationship. Probably not a good sign. You should still have your own identity when you're in a relationship. Give yourself grace. I am still learning this, and this really should be more of what I learned in my 30s, but I wanted to throw it in here because with all the pressure that's out there, especially now, even with the hot girl, you may not have hot girl money. You may not be there. You can't afford the luxury black girl. And you might feel like, especially with social media, that you're not doing enough, you're not keeping up, or you're behind, and that's not the case. Give yourself grace. Honestly, if people didn't have their phones all in a way, you don't know who's returning that stuff. You don't know who's borrowing mommy and daddy's money. You don't know if they live with a grandma and them. You don't know what that person has going on. So you are not behind. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to do things that you're not proud of, but give yourself grace. We are all humans. We are all trying to figure this thing called life out. Nobody has it all together. No one's perfect. Again, this video, I'm still learning. Life is meant to be lived, and learning and experiencing life and changing things up, whatever feels right for you is what you're supposed to do. So give yourself grace. No one's got a straight and narrow line from start to finish. No one does. There's going to be some hills and valleys, and that's okay. Whatever you're going through, do not give up. You are important. You are here for a reason. Every day that you wake up, you are here for a reason. You are chosen to be here to live out another day. I will also throw this in because I think it's very important. My relationship with God in my 20s really heightened. And you don't know how good God is until you rely on him to literally cast all your footsteps. When you rely on him to create a path for you and you just walk on it and you walk blindly on faith, it is really truly something. So my relationship with God has been very personal. I've been able to make it through by putting my trust in God, keeping my head held high, and giving myself grace. Can't end the video without acknowledging that God is the reason for all the things that I have, and even for in regards to just my mental, because sometimes I tell you the devil will attack your mental more than anything. And if it wasn't for God throughout my 20s to help me and guide me financially, spiritually, mentally, physically, I would not be here today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.